Increased base shot damage from 20 to 28. Hard shot angular velocity from 30 to 20 to 35 degrees per second. Holy shit. The plasma pistol is going to be OP. Alright, pulse carbine. Increased guided angular velocity at rest from 25 to 35. Decreased angular. Increased headshot prioritization angle from 0 to 0.1. Increased bullet magnetism angle. Commando is going to be insane. Alright, the BR is getting nerfed in pretty much every aspect, so that's kind of good. Frag grenades. Increased detonation timer by 0.2 seconds. That's kind of nice. Snap sliding's gone. I don't really care about that, to be honest. I mean, like, I get it, but at the same time, snap sliding doesn't even make sense. So, just fucking randomly turning and getting momentum from it, like, that doesn't make sense. There's no science behind that. It's literally just a bug. Snap sliding's dumb. I don't care if people do it, but I just think it's dumb. Disruptor, increase the mag. Red reticles coming. Ghost melees. They're saying that ghost melees, they are testing some improvements, so that's good. Oh, interesting. Apparently blank shots online have to do with something. Apparently some blank shots have something to do with fake reloads, where like you reload on your end, like on your client, but you don't reload on the server. So maybe that's why it's blanks. That's interesting. As a result, we are planning to bring the drop shot time in line with the speed of just swapping weapons in a future update. Thank God. Fucking cringe. While we do want equipment to tip the scales of a fight, we've started to see the thruster come out on top of 1v1 engagements more than intended. We plan on adjusting this a bit to make sure it's no longer tipping the scales too far in one direction. If you can ask Mikwin, the thrust in this game is literally copy pasted from Halo 5. The only reason it's so hard to outplay is because you don't have a counter thrust. Yeah, the values of the Halo 5 thrust and the thrust in Halo Infinite are literally copy pasted. I mean, yeah, but like you still didn't get very much aim assist on anybody in Halo 5 when they were thrusting. The only reason it was a lot easier to fight someone with thrust is because you could literally counter thrust. Like you could wait for someone to thrust and then counter thrust, and like odds are, and that you would usually win the fight too. Like if you waited for someone to burn their thrust and then you thrusted, 9 times out of 10 you won the fight. Energy sword. We've noticed the energy sword can be a little too effective on maps with tighter corners. To help bring it in line, we're updating the melee trade logic on the energy sword. Right now, if both players are no shields and they melee each other, the player with the energy sword will survive with a sliver of health. This upcoming update will update the melee logic so both players trade melees and die, which should help prevent the energy sword from just tearing through teams without trading. Alright, that's better. I mean, it's annoying, but at least you can trade with the sword. Like, that was the biggest problem with it. Throughout Halo Infinite's first HDS season, the amount of power on each arena map became a common discussion point. Most competitors felt like there was too much of a power on the weapon. We're reducing how quickly weapons respawn, as well as how many of each weapon can be on the map at any given time in ranked. Good. It didn't mention anything about ammo. I feel like the only things that really need like ammo reduction are like shock and shotguns, to be honest. Like I don't think there should ever be a weapon given to a team for free. I feel like any form of weapons should be neutral. Well, any form of like power weapon, like yeah, you can spawn on a commando or on an AR or whatever, but when you spawn and fucking stalkers in front of you, or you spawn at A on Eagle and you can literally just get shotgun for free, like yeah, those are issues. I do agree that there should be less ammo in certain things. Heatwave, shotgun, shock, I feel like should have less ammo. Stalker is like... I feel like the ammo in the Stalker wouldn't be an issue if it was, like you said, if it was more neutral than it was like just given to the team that spawns C. I think that's more so the issue. I mean, when I get Stalker, depending on the game type, I'll literally sit top C for the entire game. Like, that's all you have to do. Overall, not bad balancing, to be honest. Still, like, I mean, they can't really go too far in one direction either, so... I think it's a solid start. Balancing in terms of like ammo and stuff like that can be done more on the fly once Forge comes out though. Because we can literally just like, you can go into Forge, place a weapon, and reduce its ammo. Much harder for neutral power weapons on asymmetrical maps. It's possible, but with Infinite's map design, they made it tougher. I mean, you're absolutely right on that, Odds. My rebuttal to that is that there's too many weapons on the map. If you have a symmetrical map, and you're handing weapons to teams for free, that's a problem. There's three weapons on streets, right? There's the rockets, which is neutral, but then there's the stalker and the shotgun, which are given to both teams for free, essentially. That in itself is an issue. What about the same weapon given for free, like snipers on Sank? I think that's fine too, but that requires I don't feel like you can do that unless a map is symmetrical, because Sanctuary is symmetrical, right? So it's hard to do. Like, I think Catalyst could be a dual sniper map. Like, if you removed sword and skewer, I mean, you can honestly even keep this skewer, but like, so remember how in Halo 3 certain weapons and shit would spawn late, or like power-ups would spawn late, they wouldn't spawn right off the rip. Like, if they kept the skewer where it is but made it so it didn't spawn until like 2 minutes into the game, and each team spawned with a sniper, like maybe one's like sword hall and the other one like the opposite, like their Mando. I think that would work maybe.